Hi, my name's Michael Wojtek. I'm the Executive Director for the Ohio Academy of Science. Welcome to the 2020 State Science Day Award and Recognition Ceremony to celebrate the students who have been awarded with the Governor's Thomas Edison Awards for Research Excellence. This is a true celebration in every sense of the word. District Science Day and State Science Day couldn't happen this spring as live in-person events on college campuses throughout Ohio, and eventually at The Ohio State University, which was our host for State Science Day 2020. But knowing the importance of the hard work that each of you have done, and the importance for putting your projects out there, we were able to pivot to an online competition through a virtual format. Dr. Martin English, who is the director of the Ohio Academy of Science and our Junior Academy of Counsel, spearheaded this effort. And with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. English.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Ohio Academy of Science Junior Academy Council, which administers the 17 District Science Days hosted by Ohio colleges and universities across the state, I'd like to thank Governor DeWine, Lieutenant Governor Husted, and Director Mihalik for their continued generous support of STEM education, including Ohio Academy of Science, Science and Engineering research programs, which do benefit thousands of Ohio pre-college students each year. As you know, Ohio's future skilled employees and the innovative research conducted here begin with programs like the Ohio Academy of Science's District and State Science Days. And again, our extreme thanks.
Thank you, Dr. English. Today, we are honored to have with us the Honorable Lieutenant Governor Jon Husted, Director of the Ohio Development Services Agency, Lydia Mihalik. Director Mihalik's agency has supported funding for these awards since 1985. And on behalf of State Science Day and the Ohio Academy of Science, we are very grateful for the success of this partnership. Also, we have two important STEM champions with us who, because of their hard work and dedication to events and programs like State Science Day, they become a reality. They are Mr. John Lewis of Bio Ohio. He is also the judging chair for the Governor's Awards in the biotechnology and biomedical technology section. And Mr. Joe Carter, who is a science teacher at Bloom Carroll High School and a volunteer for District Science Day, District 8. Before I introduce the Lieutenant Governor, I would like to thank our title sponsors who make this possible: The Ohio State University, the AEP Foundation, Patel, CAS, Charles River, Kokosing, the Ohio EPA, the Ohio Tuition Trust Authority, College Advantage, Ohio's 529 plan. I'm so incredibly pleased to introduce a true STEM champion, the Honorable Lieutenant Governor Jon Husted.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you. Sorry I was a little late in getting here today. I have been up to my eyeballs in science the last 4 months, that's for sure, as it relates to the coronavirus. Let me just first say thank you to all of the students. Congratulations on your receiving the Governor's Thomas Edison Award of Excellence. I know that Governor DeWine appreciates science as much as I do. As we've been talking, we never imagined when we were elected to public office how much science would be involved in the jobs that we have now, and I'll get into that a little bit more in my remarks. But let me just say congratulations again to these students. I know that you don't win these awards without passion, without hard work, without perseverance, without demonstrating to people that you are a light for the future, that you have ability, that you're capable of greatness. And that determination and talent is part of the mix that goes into this award. So I want to congratulate all of you. It's amazing that what you're doing at the early age in life, and all that does for us as adults is set higher expectations for you. We know that you're going to be able to do some great things for the future. But I know that I like to reflect on history a lot. Um, People seem to think that anything that's happening in them today is so unprecedented, and you will find that it's not. For the most part, everything that we're experiencing today has been experienced throughout history, whether that's pandemics, whether that is economic slowdowns, whether that is social change. All of these things are part of history. But science has been so instrumental to the course of human events and human development and the betterment of our world and our society. Um, we'll start with health. We talk about a vaccine for the coronavirus, but I can imagine how much different it would have been throughout every point in history, whether it's polio or a variety of other things where treatments and vaccines were incredibly important to saving lives and improving the quality of life. Now we know with the coronavirus that we are actively watching scientists discuss and research how to come up with a vaccine to serve, and even a mask. Even the science of whether a mask really works, how much it works, who it protects, is an active part of the conversation that we are having today in our society. Whether it's cancer, diabetes, you name it, extending our lives and improving the quality of it, science is incredibly important. Let's take space. It is, whether it's understanding the universe or gravity, how light works, even the trip to the orbit around the Earth and the trip to the moon. All of that was science, and all of that science led to improvements in the quality of our lives. And now today, think of what satellite technology does to global connectivity, the exchange of information, our weather, everything. Everything is connected. So many things are connected to that science of space, and all that's come as a result of that. You can take even war. We think of war as battles and bravery, but whether it was the innovation of guns and gunpowder, or in World War II, nuclear explosives, wars for better or worse have been determined not just on bravery, but on science and innovation. Our environment. It's a topic that is really important for young people. Where is the future of our planet? How can we create sustainable ways of living our lives the way that people are accustomed to, in an affordable and in a sustainable way that preserves the environment and maintains the environment in a way that allows human beings to exist with over 7 billion of us on this planet. Consumers. As consumers and in our daily lives, electricity, air conditioning, all of these things changed our futures. From the invention to the telephone to the smartphone, it has given us access to information that people never before imagined. I didn't bring it with me, but in myself, I graduated from the University of Dayton in 1989. You could have taken some of the books on campus, and I wouldn't have had access to as much information as I do today in my little black cell phone. It is amazing how much these innovations, the science behind them, has changed our society and our lives. And now we're into data science. Data science has been around for a long time, but it's really an important aspect of our lives. Data science, computer science, all of these things give us the capacity to change our futures, to change our world. And you, in some way, are the future of all of this. You, as students, and what you've achieved, it's going to be, you're going to shape this future. This future is in the hands of those individuals who are willing to do good and be great. And I'm confident in what I've read about all of you and the things that you've accomplished, that you are building the foundation to not only be good, but to do great things. And I think that recognizing you for that work is important. I always believe we should celebrate what we value. And if we value young, talented scientists, we ought to support you. And I've always made science part of my public life, from When I was in the legislature as Speaker of the House, I helped create the STEM Learning Network and the STEM schools that are now popping up all around or have been created all around our state. And I also started the Choose Ohio First Scholarship, a STEM scholarship for you, for the future college students of Ohio to stay here, go to Ohio college universities, and contribute to the future of this great state. So I'm counting on all of you to reshape your communities, to reshape your state, to change the nation and even the world with your abilities, with your passion, and with your talents. I believe that to whom much is given, much is expected. So there's a lot of expectations for you. You're all very talented, and I know you will do great things. So thanks for the chance to share those thoughts with you, and I wish you all great success. And with that, let me turn it over to Director Lydia Mihalik, who is just a fantastic agency director. She works in economic development. She's the former mayor of Findlay, Ohio. And most of all, most important to me, she is an former all-star college basketball player. So she's done a lot in her lives, and I know that she cares a lot about this topic. And so let me turn it over to Lydia.
Great. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor. And good morning, students. It is so awesome to see your faces. I've never done a virtual award ceremony, so thank you for giving me the opportunity to chat with you today and to recognize the incredible things that you're doing. To all the students and teachers and volunteers and mentors who have made this year's State Science Day possible, congratulations. And I'm certainly proud, again, to celebrate these accomplishments with you. The Governor's Thomas Edison Awards recognize the talent, skill, critical thinking, and problem solving that will move Ohio forward. It's truly a collaborative effort which brings together community and government leaders, industry and education, and of course, you, our dedicated students who are continuing Ohio's great tradition of innovation. We like to say that innovation is in our DNA in Ohio. Your projects are shining examples of technology and innovation at its best, and you stepped up to the challenge of this year's virtual competition, demonstrating the hard work and resilience that will make you leaders in your communities and the workforce of tomorrow. So at this time, I think we're ready, Michael, to go ahead and announce the winners of this year's Thomas Edison Awards. In grades 10 through 12, in the Information Science and Technology Research category, the first award goes to Jaden Thomas, 11th grade, Bloom Carroll High School in Carroll. Second award is Urina Cordova, 10th grade in Beaumont School in Cleveland Heights. The third award goes to Kai Delsing, 11th grade, Bellbrook High School in Bellbrook. And the fourth award is Aniv Ray, 12th grade, Columbus Academy in Gahanna. Congratulations to all of you on those awards. In the category of advanced materials, the first award goes to Destin Keikel in 10th grade at Hawkins School in Gates Mills. Second award goes to Sineen Abu Karam in 12th grade, the Bounty Collegium, Sylvania. Third award goes to Landon Mullenkamp, 11th grade, Greenville High School in Greenville. And the fourth award to Lainey King, 10th grade at Akron St. Vincent St. Mary in Akron. Congratulations, guys. Well done. In the advanced or alternative energy category, the first award goes to Ethan Elking, 11th grade in Miamisburg High School, Miamisburg. Second award goes to Michael Schieser in 11th grade in Hudson High School in Hudson. The third award, Dylan Siegel, 11th grade in Anna High School, Anna. Fourth award goes to Cassidy Smith, 12th grade at Bloom Carroll High School in Carroll. Congratulations, guys. This is sign language for applause, by the way, if you haven't figured it out. In the Biotechnology and Biomedical Technologies division, the first award goes to Mohini Pavarte, 11th grade at Dublin Jerome High School in Dublin. Second award goes to Julia Bray, in 12th grade at Gahanna Lincoln High School in Gahanna. The third award goes to Taylor Kaufman, 12th grade, Anna High School in Anna. And the fourth award goes to Sophia Carter, 11th grade, Carroll High School in Dayton. Congratulations, guys. In grades 7 through 9, in the Information Science and Technology Research category, the first award goes to Leisha Asheria, 7th grade, Mason Middle School in Mason. Second award goes to Emily Carr, 7th grade at John Sells Middle School in Dublin. Third award goes to Joshua Cox at Buckeye Valley Local Middle School in Delaware. Congratulations, guys. In the Advanced Materials category, first award, John Shin, 9th grade, Hawkins School in Gates Mills. Second award, Sarah Burns, 8th grade, Sacred Heart of Jesus in Wadsworth. The third award goes to Alora Siegel, 8th grade, Hilltop High School in West Unity. Congratulations, by the way. Advanced or Alternative Energy category, the first award goes to Anas Marip, 8th grade, Sunrise Academy in Hilliard. The second award, Caitlin Ernst, 8th grade, Laurel School in Shaker Heights. And the third award in the Advanced or Alternative Energy category goes to Alexander Kroll, 8th grade, Walnut Hills in Cincinnati. Congratulations, guys. In the Biotechnology and Biomedical Technologies category, the first award goes to Madeline Cole, 9th grade, Liberty Union in Baltimore. The second award goes to John Shin, 9th grade, Hawkins School in Gates Mills. And the third award goes to Annalise Deppenbrock, 7th grade, St. Michael's School in Ripley. Congratulations to all of you. And with that, unfortunately, I have to head away, but I'm really proud of you. I want you to know that Ohio is the best state to live, learn, work, innovate, and play. You are shining examples of that. So to our next generation of scientists and entrepreneurs, we support you, congratulate you, and hope you continue to create and think really big. Bye, guys. Thanks for letting me join you today. Take care.
Thanks, Director Mihalik. That was fantastic. Thank you for joining us. So with that, I would like to ask, and we can certainly, when you're called upon, if you would like to unmute yourselves, and also I would like our other guests on the call, Mr. Carter, Dr. English, Mr. Lewis. Also, if you're, if you're developing a question as you hear these students, it would be an excellent time to chime in. And what I'd like to do is perhaps I'm going to go in no particular order, and we're certainly not going to get to everyone for the sake of time. But I do want to call on Lesia Acharya from Mason Middle School. She developed a neural network for a system to detect lung cancer fluid buildup, or I should say detect lung fluid buildup for early and acute detection of pneumonia. And what I'm going to ask each of you to do is think about your research, think about the relevance of it, why your research was important, and what is important for each of us to take away from it. Should be a fairly succinct answer. I know you'll be able to get to it very quickly. You guys are awesome at this. You're always impressing me with your ability to do so. So with that, you can unmute yourself, Ms. Acharya, and please let us know about your research.
So I actually came up with this idea when I was younger. My sister was diagnosed with pneumonia, and luckily she was fine in the end, because we live in a society where you can get early detection and you can get treatment. But then I started seeing a lot in the news about it, and that kind of sparked that memory. And I just wanted to do something to help the millions of people around the world that or don't get to live in such a privileged society where we are able to get early detection.
Awesome. That was very good. Thank you so much. And for the record, your award was a first award, and that was for information science and technology research. With that, I'm going to jump to Jaden Thomas. Jaden's an 11th grade student from Bloom Carroll High School, and also his teacher, Mr. Carter, happens to be on the phone. So Jaden, if you could, what's interesting is Jaden's project, he happened to do a meta-analysis, and this was from, he's looking at transcranial magnetic stimulation on major depression patients. And for those of us that will be looking at the recording of this call, meta-analysis, actually, these were from data sets that were compiled not on a primary basis by the researcher, but he's calling on these data sets to do his analysis on the data that's already been collected. There's many of these sources out there. So Jaden, why don't you join us and tell us about the importance of your research?
So my project is important because millions of people in the United States deal with depressive episodes every year. So a effective treatment for a major depression would be very important to help those millions of people live their lives happily.
Kind of what inspired you to choose this particular topic? Was it just the importance of it, what you gave? Were there any other factors that helped you kind of go down that road?
I just chose it because I knew it was an important illness that is been a struggle for people all the time. So I wanted to look at something that I didn't really know about, which was the transcranial magnetic stimulation, and see if it was an effective treatment.
Were you able to learn something or gain new knowledge, new insights, kind of new takeaways for you personally?
Yeah, I learned about a new treatment for major depression, and it's being used for more things. So that's interesting that it's like an up and coming treatment for different diseases. So that was important to learn. So yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much, Jaden. An 8th grade student from Sunrise Academy in Hilliard, Anas Marab. If you would, Anas, tell us, I know you looked at, you used biomimicry as a way to look at effectiveness of wind turbines. So give us kind of your inspiration and the importance of what you found.
So,
yeah, there you go.
One day I was on a trip with my family, and then we came across this place, it's an area with like several wind turbines, and I was like interested to know like how wind turbines work and how they work and everything. So I kept it as an idea I can possibly do research on in 1 year in science fair. And so this year I decided on working on wind turbines. And basically, when I knew more about wind turbines, like researching about them, I realized that like at low elevations, they don't have like a high efficiency. They don't make that much power. And sometimes, like when there's like severe wind conditions, like very high winds, the wind turbine can spin very so much that like the generator can be burned. So in my research, I decided to design bio-inspired and smart blade designs to improve the efficiency and make them more resilient. And basically, what I mean by bio-inspired is like the blades can like alter the shape of something found in nature, like say like bird wings or like the fins of a whale or like a shape of a leaf. Maybe I can like maybe make my blades the same shape as that. And same with the smart designs. The smart designs, what I mean by that is I can make the propeller to like structurally change itself depending on how the wind conditions are. Like if the wind conditions can possibly damage the wind turbine, I can make the propeller change change the way that its blades are to make it not spin, so it won't get damaged. And if it's like if the wind conditions are beneficial for the wind turbine, it can change to like a different angle, like 45 or 30-degree angle, and they can spin. And not only did I design bio-inspired and smart blades, but I also changed like a few parameters, like the number of blades or the angle of attack, or like a few other parameters.
What's interesting about the research, the thought is that, wind production is only really effective in certain areas. So this may be a way of actually introducing, wind generation into, like, as you say, those areas that are less than optimal. So, it's really a great way to look at that particular issue. Thank you so much. Mohini Pravarte, an 11th grade student from Dublin Jerome High School, did an analysis of gene expression on signatures for predicting chemosensitivity in breast cancer patients. Mohini actually represented the Buckeye Science and Engineering Fair at last year's International Science and Engineering Fair. Always nice to see you. And if you could give us the importance of your research, we will enjoy listening to you.
So in my project this year, I created a predictive model using different genetic expression signatures from a subset of patients that was able to predict how that patient with a form of cancer called triple negative breast cancer would react to chemotherapy. So using my model, after the proper clinical trials are done with that model, the information gained from it can be really helpful and can be used as an aid for healthcare professionals as they can modify a patient's treatment to better suit them and increases their chances of survival.
Thank you very much. I want to also get to Destin Keuchel, a 10th grade student from Hawkins School in Gates Mills. Improving the durability of a solar sail. Tell us what a solar sail is and tell us why this is an important piece of research.
All right, can you guys hear me?
We can.
All right, yeah. So a solar sail is very similar to a normal sail, except instead of using wind, it uses photons of light. So imagine like a very big aluminum foil sheet in space that's very thin and very large in area, and it moves based off of the momentum carried by photons. And so the problem with solar sails is that they are not durable at all. And they are very important because they can travel extremely fast. They're the fastest means of travel by any human created design. And so what my project was is in the manufacturing of a solar sail, how do we make the seaming process to actually be a benefit overall in the durability of a solar sail? So essentially, my project was on introducing a high strength fiber inside the different parts of solar sails that are seamed together in order to make sure that the solar sail does not tear in the middle of its space mission. And this is really important because there's a University of Leicester study that tells us there is a 50% chance per year that things floating around in space get hit by a micrometeoroid. And solar sails are extremely thin. And so even like a small little pebble hitting a solar sail will cause a tear that could propagate and destroy the entire mission. So what my project is introducing a high strength fiber to make sure that tears don't propagate, to make sure that tears don't continue throughout the entire sail, to make sure that we can actually save missions and save tons of money in the process.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Destin. With that, we're going to have our last student that I'm going to call on, and these were all first awards. And recognizing that every one of your projects is just simply outstanding, and the difference many times between a first award, a second award, a third award, a fourth award, they're very, very thin. And it's very difficult for judges like Mr. Lewis and his team to actually make those decisions. So we really appreciate each and everybody's work in this. Our last student that I'd like to call on is Ethan Elking from Miamisburg, Ohio. Ethan looked at alternative fuel use in small engines. This can be a very important thing from an economic and commercialization standpoint. Ethan, why don't you take us through the importance of this, please?
Okay, so my research is important because most small engines lack modern emissions equipment like catalytic converters and fuel injection and EGR. So the cheapest and most affordable thing to do is to use an alternative fuel, which creates less emissions. It also can increase power and increase fuel economy. So,
what combinations of fuels did you use that you found out were more optimal?
the optimal fuel was E85 because you can find it at like half of gas stations, and it's cheaper than gasoline, and it makes more power.
All right, thanks so much. So if you guys could all stay on the call, I do want to recognize Mr. John Lewis. Every year, he and his team take on an incredible role in looking at the projects here. So we could get a firsthand view from a judge who judges on behalf of the Governor's Thomas Edison Awards. And Mr. Lewis, if you'd just care to share briefly, your what you see from State Science Day, what inspires you, kind of, anything that you would like to share with us.
Sure, thank you. And congratulations to all of you and all of your other fellow students that are not here. That many were equally could have been awarded. It is tough. I've been doing this now for 17 years or 18 years. There's and I do not come from a science background. I am awed by what you all do. I lead the statewide science organization. I'm a walking encyclopedia, but only a couple bullet points deep. You all go so much deeper than I do. I'm just amazed at what you do. I denied. People said, why don't you be a judge? I said, I can't be a judge. I'm not a science person. I don't know any of this. And so I said, no. And I said, no. And then I finally caved and I said, yes. And I have led the group ever since. It's a highlight of my year. You all are a highlight of my year. And I talk about a handful of you throughout the year. It's just stunning. Some of you I know, some of you I've talked to, some of you I talked to this year, some of you I've talked to the last couple years. I always ask a couple basic questions. I'm one of those that don't dive into your science. I distract you from your presentation. That might recall who I am if you saw me live. I can be annoying because I will not listen to your dialogue, blah, 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 blah. But I get to you, why are you doing this? What's your passion? And it's amazing. You all are here because it's your passion. It's not your parents' passion. It's not your grandparents' passion. It's your passion. And you had your own individual story as to why you're doing or researching what you're doing. Please keep that up. If you keep up your individual passion, oh my. I was not doing what you were doing in junior high and high school. I'm proud of what you do. That's why I've done it for 17 years now. And I will continue to do it. So just keep powering on. I know it's hard. I know you get ridiculed by certain people at school. I have a 14-year-old Chinese daughter from Wuhan, China. She's getting called the COVID-19 kid. You're getting called all sorts of names. Don't worry about it. Power through. It's going to be amazing. You all each are amazing. You made it this far. Maybe multiple times. I don't know all of your backgrounds. So keep it up. Really, keep it up. It's just, keep it up.
Thank you so much, John. Representing not just Bloom Carroll High School or District 8, but I really wanted to have somebody who represents science education in the state of Ohio from a teacher's perspective. Because much of what is done here with you students is done because of a dedicated science instructor and somebody who cares and wants students to have the ability to do that student-focused work. You know, the things that stoke your interests in science and technology, engineering, and mathematics. And what we're learning and what we know is that this happens because of your ability to do hands-on, to actually jump into and learn science by doing it, by applying it, by practicing it, and not just simply reading a textbook, coming up with information, repeating the information, and moving on. So with that, I'd like to ask Mr. Carter about, his perspective on why he runs such a large science fair program, what it means to him, and more importantly, what it means to science education in the state of Ohio. Mr. Carter?
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think if I'm to represent all the teachers, the first word would be how proud we are of you guys, because as a teacher, especially at the upper levels, we are blessed to be able to work with students like you that are passionate, that are excited, that find something they really want to do and can move on with it. It is my pleasure to be able to see when you students pick up on something and really take it and own it. And I know that for probably some of you, and I'll even include my own students here, sometimes it takes a little prodding, it takes a little pushing, takes a little slap in the back of the head maybe. But that is so worth it, because we get to see you guys take something that you didn't know something about, or that you really just had a lot of questions, and really dive deep into it. And our hope is that this is something that will engage your interest, that may even bring a career path, or we're not even so much worried, or not worried. We're not so much even expecting like this newfound discovery. We just are excited to see that you guys are finding something that you really have an interest in. And but the discoveries you guys make, my former teacher also said this: I learn more from you guys through your science fair projects than I probably do just, even some of my college, because you guys bring up some great ideas. You ask questions to us teachers that we're like, I don't know, you need to find an expert. And that's great, because you challenge us. And that's important, because that keeps us on our toes. For the purpose for Ohio, you guys are the future. Like everyone said so far. And, my question to all of you would be, so where is what you've done today, or what you've done this year, where is it going to take you? What's the next step? What do you want to do with that information? What questions did you learn that you now have that you want to figure out? Because, we normally don't get to the end of that project like, well, we're done. We figured it all out. There's always new questions. And I'm sure that all of you are thinking, my project was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it, but I still have all these other questions. And I challenge you guys to continue. Look for those, because we need that. We need that in society today, because as most of you guys have, realized, everyone's questioning science. And we need people like you to make it valid. So thank you very much for all you've done, and continue, please. We want to see you guys back next year.
So with that, we will conclude our award and our recognition ceremony. I'm very grateful and thankful that we had the director of the Ohio Development Services Agency on to recognize each of you in these very important awards, the Governor's Thomas Edison Awards for Excellence in Research. And also, to have a true STEM champion and Lieutenant Governor Jon Husted. It was fantastic that he could join us. So with that, everyone, I wish you a great rest of the summer. I hope you're kind of ideating about next year's projects, and where things may take you, because we're certainly interested in seeing and hearing what it is that what you're about to develop. So with that, thank you very much. That will conclude our call for the day. Take care.